What's up, everyone? It's your host of Tea Talks episode number 2, Mark Sotomayor. I am here at Brown Bag Coffee and Tea Company off of Stemmons Freeway, right in Dallas, Texas. We are here going to talk about coffee versus tea. Which one is better for you? And I'm going to surprise you guys because I first came in thinking one was better than the other. I was shocked upon my research when I found out just how similar but different both of these drinks are. So let's get started. Okay, so coffee and tea are way healthier alternatives than soda, energy drinks, and other things that have caffeine, such as chocolate, milk chocolate, as well as ice cream can sometimes have caffeine. The nice part about coffee is that it can actually lower the risk of Alzheimer's and liver cirrhosis, reduces inflammation, improves your lung function, it increases your insulin sensitivity. That's better for diabetic sort of people, as well as decreases depression in some type of people, not all types of people. So just so you know, caffeine is the most widely consumed psychoactive drug in the whole world. Depending on how you are, your genetics, your body type, your blood type, and other factors like what you eat on a daily basis, your diet, what sort of intake you have of that sort, as well as if you take any other medication or if you work out, coffee and tea will give you different effects. So it can be subjective to you and your body type and how you break down those minerals within your digestive system, but also these things are general. So just so you know, we will be comparing regular coffee, not green coffee, which has slightly different effects. That is unroasted coffee. And we will also be comparing it to tea made from the Camellia sinensis plant. This is caffeinated tea. We're not including herbal teas in this comparison. So the thing about coffee is you get more beneficial antioxidants in the form of polyphenols whenever the roast is lighter. So whenever you're roasting it more and more, like for example, Starbucks super roasts a lot of their popular coffees, like the Pike Place roast. A lot of those polyphenols and antioxidants are burnt out, and that is the best part of the coffee. So at that, a lot of times you're just taking, when you have your morning coffee, you're just taking a bunch of caffeine. People do like coffee and it keeps them quote unquote regular by going to the bathroom. That diuretic effect that coffee does have over tea, this will make you dehydrated. So that is one, it could be a positive but also a negative of coffee. I know a lot of people don't drink enough water during the day. So to drink that coffee, it can be worse than tea because it'll keep you dehydrated unless you replenish it with more water. Another thing is how you roast the coffee how you brew the coffee is going to depend big time on the health effects. So if you're using like a French press and you keep it there for a long time instead of letting the hot water filter through a filter holding the ground coffee, then you will have a stronger brew. It will take out more of those antioxidants. But the thing about that is, if it's unfiltered, there's a fatty acid inside of coffee. I didn't know this until I researched. That's LDL cholesterol. That is the bad cholesterol. You do not want to be consuming that on a regular basis. So it's better to actually filter out your coffee. Even if you're using a French press, you can filter it afterwards. Now, this is also transferable to like an espresso maker. You should avoid coffee if you have like things like anxiety. It can trigger more peaks of anxiety, glaucoma, or if you have like acid reflux, it gives you an acidic reaction. If you also have insomnia, you're not able to sleep well at night, or memory problems even. I didn't know that until I researched. If you have memory problems, you should drink coffee earlier on in the morning. So the best part about coffee is the polyphenols. It's called chlorogenic acid. As I already said, places like Starbucks that extra roast their beans, I guess it's probably more efficient for their trying. Every second they spend less time brewing your coffee. Just a second less ends up being more money in the forms of productivity and efficiency for a large chain like that. The chlorogenic acid, as well as another polyphenol called caffeoylenic acid. Those are the main antioxidants and polyphenols found within coffee. However, what I did find is in both coffee and tea, if you have cow's milk, this is half and half, skim milk, whole milk, 2%, it doesn't matter. The milk will actually block the most beneficial part, which is the antioxidants, from digesting into your body. So a lot of people actually do have their coffee with a ton of sugar, which really isn't good for you in the American diet, as well as a lot of milk in it. And this actually null and voids the coffee effect. Now, though it may wake you up more because it's more filling, the coffee, it gives the caffeine something to process with, and as well as the sugar, it actually cuts that antioxidant effect. So really, you're just having a caffeine blast. This day after day, especially in coffee, can lead to mood swings where your energy goes up and just dips back down, and you have to keep quote unquote chasing the high with coffee. So the nice part about that is if you change to like oat milk or soy milk, then that works a lot better. It will not have that cow milk effect. Now, of course, once again, use filtered coffee. Another thing with this is when it comes to green and white tea, it does tend to contain less caffeine than coffee. It depends which type you take. For example, matcha in larger concentrations can have more caffeine in the cup of coffee, as opposed to black tea. Black tea is oxidized and processed in a way that it brings out more caffeine. So black tea tends to have a little bit less milligrams of caffeine within compared to a serving of a cup of coffee. However, it can be just as much. It depends how long you steep it for. So black tea is very comparable to coffee, but black tea, being that it's a little bit more processed, has different sorts of polyphenols within it. So here we have some coffee. It's great, if you drink it daily, it's actually can help your mental cognitive function over time. And here we're gonna brew some tea real quick. So since I'm at a nice fancy tea shop with over 300 different varieties of coffee and tea, including herbal teas here in Dallas, I can just take my pick, so we'll see. This is Pai Mu Tan white tea. This is from Fujian province in China. That's one of the things I love, although we're not able to grow much tea in North America. I guess it's not as lucrative and such. Tea is actually very inexpensive for what it is, and you can get it all over the world, from China to Japan to Vietnam. Tea's able to be grown in the highlands. So there we go, we have a little bit of this. And Brown Bag Coffee and Tea here in Dallas was kind enough to let us film in here with this nice backdrop and provide us with the tea and the everything we need here. So I think that'll be cool, brewing right in front of the camera. The one big thing that I think really differentiates coffee from tea is this compound called L-theanine. L-theanine levels out the caffeine. It is an anti-anxiety sort of compound, and it allows you to be cool, calm. It's paired with caffeine very well. And L-theanine is only found in white tea, green tea, black tea, anything from the Camellia sinensis plants, and some choice mushrooms. So this is really a rare compound. Coffee does not have L-theanine, making you spike up with that caffeine buzz, but then it diminishes, right? L-theanine allows the caffeine to level out. That is one of the biggest things. That's why monks would even use tea for meditation. It allows you to get more focused. Tea tends to have a more contemplative nature than coffee. However, both do stimulate, your thinking, but tea gives you more like a calm. So, in addition to this, green tea tends to have more longer lifespan promoting qualities. The antioxidants in tea are completely different than what's in coffee, which brings me to surmise that sometimes green tea is better. However, coffee does have different things. So sort of having a balanced diet where every now and then you drink coffee, every now and then you drink tea is better. I would, and the research does show that although you can handle up to like 4 cups of coffee a day, this caffeine deficiency is a negative over time, meaning you have to drink more and drink more in order to just stay productive. So, having sort of tolerance breaks or such of the caffeine every now and then can have better effects and really allow you to say you don't drink caffeine over the weekends or on Sunday, 1 day a week. Then that can give you the better effect of caffeine on a more recurring basis. If you do drink caffeine every day and you keep drinking more of it every day, then that can actually, although caffeine can help you be less depressed, clinically shown, it can also trigger more depression, being that you need this substance you crave this substance in order to operate normally. So just like coffee and tea, the darker the processing, the more it burns out the antioxidants. So, for example, the polyphenols in tea, those, as well as the ones in coffee, those are agents against free radicals. Those are like benign compounds. In simple terms, whenever you breathe in and you're breathing fumes on the highway, pollution, those are cells that your body doesn't know from petroleum, kind of like man-made cells. They're not natural. I really believe that this is in part why cancer has been on the rise over the past 150 years, big time, is because of all these benign compounds. Another thing, I never recommend to use paper cups, even drinking out of soda cans, having an acidic soda within the can that's leaching away from the liner, the plastic BPA liner around the can. That leaches all these benign compounds. In nature, you don't have like petroleum offset compounds that have been processed. Another big thing is smoking, right? If you're a smoker, those cancerous compounds go into your body. Another thing is alcohol consumption. So I really have a whole kind of way of thinking and thesis about this, which makes sense to me. All these benign compounds, sometimes they take a drink of a water bottle and the water bottle's been in your car in the sun and it heated up, right? For example. And sometimes, I don't know about y'all, maybe you can comment below, but for me, I can taste the plastic in that. And I actually immediately feel effects around my body at different places. For men, these sort of pollutants like heavy metals and I believe plastics too, don't quote me on that, but I believe plastics too, will literally get stuck in your reproductive organs, leading to reproductive diseases. Heavy metals also get stuck in your brain, leading to different cognition problems. So a lot of these things that we have today are caused by a large amount of free radical agents, also called oxidative stress reactors. Oxidative stress is when all these compounds, it is free radicals. It's compounds that flow around your system, attacking and damaging your cells. So it gets into the cell wall, it changes the chemistry, and is really something that your body's not ready for, right? Like those red blood cells and such, those agents in your body, which is your immune system, is not used to these newer compounds. So point is, I would highly recommend staying away from plastics, drinking out of like even paper cups, staying away from drinking out of cans. If you're like in traffic and you're smelling fumes, I always do like that, literally, because you need these antioxidants that are found in both coffee and tea, especially tea, but also coffee. Different antioxidant compounds, as I said, in order to flush out those free radicals flowing around your body. So that's a big tidbit for you. Now, these polyphenols and antioxidants are very powerful. They can clear out sickness, disease, even have antimicrobial, like flushing, detoxing effects, which you may have experienced. However, they're also found in, natural fruits, vegetables, seeds, and they're not very well found in, unnatural things like carbohydrate processed foods and such. So just so you know, you can flush out a lot of those things found in the kind of unnatural man-made world we live in by eating more antioxidants. So back in the day, right, say Native American days, or the farming days, we would eat a ton of fruits and vegetables. We had all these antioxidants to flush out anything that came against our immune system and body. Nowadays, people eat less antioxidants than ever before, less polyphenols than ever before. That is why coffee and tea can have such a good effect in this day and age. It could be your only source of antioxidants. So, which is better, coffee or tea? Honestly, if both are used at the right time for different things, then coffee in some cases could be better for you overall, having a better cognitive boost, more caffeine in it, especially if it's a lighter roast and is filtered. It can be better for you potentially in the right circumstance. But I would have to say, based on my findings and even personal experience sipping on tea and coffee very often, that white tea and green tea, given that you do not use like a plastic cup or even a paper cup, it is better for you, being that it has different and more polyphenols, a lower caffeine content, and last but not least, the best thing of it all, in my opinion, L-theanine, giving you a more level boost. What do you think? Which one do you like better? If you think I kind of skipped over something, feel free to comment below. I'd like to open the discussion. Which is better for you, coffee or tea? To me, tea takes the prize this time. Coffee closely behind it, but it does depend on the time of day you're drinking it, what you're drinking it for, the effect you're drinking it for.